Hey everyone, today we are going to complete our final topic in our percent unit, which is representing percents algebraically. So we just came off of our unit on equations where we used algebra to solve for an unknown. And when we had an unknown, we used a variable. And we're going to be using variables now to represent percentages. So today we're gonna complete a drag and drop activity, which you guys have done a drag and drop activity for me before, but we did it when we were still in school, and it was on discounts and markups. So if we forgot how to complete the drag and drop activity, that's the purpose of this video. I'm gonna show you how to complete it, what you guys have to do, and then at the end, you guys will submit the rest of this to me. So there are 3 work slides in this Google Slides. We are going to complete slide 2 together. Then you guys are going to complete slides 3 and 4 on your own, and then you're going to submit this to me when you are done. Okay, so let's get started. I look at slide 2. Now, the first one says sneakers with a 15% discount. Well, this would be a sale price. And the only difference is now, guys, I didn't give you an actual price for the sneakers. I just said sneakers have a 15% discount. So what we're going to be doing here is figuring out what a 15% discount of any price of sneakers would be. Okay, again, we don't know the exact price of sneakers, so we're going to be using a variable to represent that unknown. Well, our first step we always wanted to do is to determine the percentage of the item that we're actually paying for. So since it says a 15% discount, I know that I'm not paying 100% of this item. I'm taking 15% off because the discount is a markdown, so the price is going to go down. So I take 100% and I subtract 15%. Well, 100% minus 15% is 85%. I would then determine what is 85% of the price of the sneakers. Again, I do not have a price of the sneakers, so I'm just going to use the variable x. I'm going to figure out what is 85% of x. Of means multiplication. So I'm multiplying 85 times x. But any that percent into a decimal. So 85% as a decimal is 0.85. And again, since I'm multiplying, I just can write x here because multiplication is the only operation in math where I don't need to write a specific operation. So if I have a number and a variable right next to each other, it's just understood that that is multiplication. So my answer here is 0.85 times x. Okay, so then I'm going to come down to the bottom here and I'm going to locate my answer. Once I locate my answer, I'm going to drag it and drop it into this column. Okay, that's why it's called drag and drop activity. All right, number 2 says a population of a city increases by 8.5%. Well, keyword here is increases. So I'm starting out with 100% of the population and then I'm adding 8.5%. Well, 100% minus 8.5% is 108.5%. Then I would determine, well, what is 108.5% of the population? Again, I don't have a specific number for the population. It is unknown, so I'm going to use the variable x. I have to multiply those two numbers together. Well, before I multiply, I got to convert that percent into a decimal. And 108.5% as a decimal is 1.085 times that by my variable x. So this is my answer. I'm now going to go to the bottom, drag that into the column to the right. All right. The third one says a population of a city decreases by 5%. Well, we have 100%. Since I'm decreasing, I'm subtracting 5%. 100 minus 5 is 95%. So now I'm finding 95% of the population. Of means multiplication. I don't know the exact population, so I'm using the variable x. Before I multiply 95 times x, I got to convert that 95% into a decimal, which is 0.95 times x. Okay, so then I'm simply going to locate that at the bottom, which is right here. Drag and drop it in the column. All right. Fourth one says a sweater is marked up 25%. Well, the key words there are marked up. I'm increasing. So I'm taking 100% and I am adding 25%. 100 plus 25 is 125%. Convert that percent to a decimal, which is 1.25, times that by a variable x to represent the cost of the sweater. Locate that on the bottom, drag and drop it in the appropriate box. Okay, last but not least, says a pair of jeans is marked down 18%. Well, keywords there, marked down. So I am decreasing. So I'm taking 100% and I'm subtracting 18%. 100 minus 18 is 82%. So now I got to determine, well, what is 82% of the price of the jeans? I don't know the cost of the jeans, so I'm going to use the variable x. Before I multiply the 82% and the x together, I got to convert that 82% into a decimal, which is 0.82 times that variable x. So that is my answer there. Locate it at the bottom and drag and drop it into the column. All right, guys, that's all you got to do. So you are now going to complete slides 3 and 4 on your own. Make sure to hit turn in when you guys have finished this drag and drop activity. Okay, any questions? Please do not hesitate to ask.